Cebu City Life Skills Trainees. I am Rio M. Magboho, and we shall be discussing the English Functional Competency. This is part of the 15 competencies defined in Republic Act number 10869 or the Jumpstart Philippines program. Let's start! As we enter a new decade of increasing digital transformation and automation, it is important that we have the English Functional Competency. English Functional defined as the usage of English language required to perform a specific function like academic study or career progression. English Functional provides the essential knowledge, skills, and understanding that will enable the user to operate confidently, effectively, and independently in life and at work. In the world of work, most of the companies, employers, believe that if you have this competency, you can communicate clearly in English language with correct spelling, grammar, in English form. Read and understand wide range of messages in English language. You can also manage customer effectively in English language. Now that you know the importance of this topic, let me give you the objective of this discussion. 1. To learn to write basic business letters in line with job functions. And number 2, to learn basic grammar rules and be familiar with common letter writing mistakes. Keep in mind that in this video, we will be focusing only on written communication in developing your English functional competency. If you remember the work ethics module, the speaker discussed the importance of having a good work ethics in the workplace. There are many circumstances that require a printed out business letters, such writing your boss a thank you letter, business proposal, or just simply report letter about seminar you attended. Do you know what is a business letter? A business letter is a formal document with a set structure. It is a formal document often sent from one company to another company or from a company to its clients, employees, and stakeholders. A business letter includes 6 parts: date, sendee's address, salutation, body or content, complimentary closing, type, signature. Each section of the letter should adhere to follow the appropriate format. Date, the date you are penning the correspondence. Sendee's address includes the sendee's name. In writing, the name can be in all capital or not. Below name is the title, job position, name of the company. Below the name of the company is the company address, city, zip code. Use to whom it may concern if you're unsure specifically whom you're addressing. Use the formal salutation dear, Mr., Miss, Mrs., and then last name if you know the recipient. Use dear first name only if you have an informal relationship with the recipient. The next part of the letter is the body or content. It is where the letter message is given. Use single space line with added space between each paragraph, after the salutation and above the closing. Left justify your letter against the left margin. The 5th part of the letter is the complimentary closing, where it signals the conclusion of the letter. Keep closing paragraph to 2 sentences. Simply reiterate your reason for writing and thank you the reader for considering your request. Some good options for closing include respectfully yours, yours sincerely, very truly yours, respectfully. The last part of the letter is the type signature, where name, work designation in the relation to the letter may include actual signature to the sender. Write the signature beneath your closing and leave 4 single spaces between your closing and your typed full name title, phone number, email address, and other contact information you want to include. Remember, keep the body of your business letter direct and brief. Number 2, explain why you are writing in your first paragraph. 3, provide your specific in the next paragraph. And 4, use closing paragraph to reiterate your reason for writing. Number 5, thank your recipient for reading and possibly mention follow-up plans. 6, do not forget to proofread your correspondence twice to ensure nothing was missed. In the work ethics module, the speaker discussed the importance of following rules and regulations in the workplace. Another type of letter that informs employees about policies, programs, and any relevant use within the organization is what we call the memorandum. The memorandum, or commonly known as memo, it is mostly used type of letter in the office. A memorandum is a short written message that may be used in a business office. A memo is an intra-office tool that mostly used to help employees understand what is expected for them and what will happen if they violate the rules. A memo is less formal than a letter that inform, update, inquire, report, suggest, remind, instruct, and to communicate ideas, policies, programs, or any relevant news within the organization. So now that you fully understand what's the importance of the business letter in the workplace, let us now know the two parts of the memo. The first part is the identifying information at the top, and the second part is the message itself. At the top, identify for whom the memo has been written, who is sending it, the subject, and the date. The subject line serves as the memo title. Always remember, the business memo is only effective when it connects your own purpose with the reader's interest. If you would like to write effective memos, here are the 3 tips. 1. If you are writing a memo, it should be concise. Be clear, be brief, yet complete. 2. It should anticipate and answer all questions that a reader might have. And lastly, it should never provide unnecessary or confusing information. The next type of letter is email. Both email and memo are essential in the workplace communication. Determining which one is effective depends on what you are trying to accomplish. Since our focus is to improve your competency by formal writing a letter, we will discuss the email letter. Email is now widely used medium communication in the workplace. Millions of emails get sent around the world on a daily basis. Email is a letter sent electronically over the internet using emailing programs. Here are the benefits of using emails. It communicates powerfully with others using the most widely used medium of communication in the workplace. It creates a professional impression and allows you to document with one-to-many key points on work programs, leaves, and others. Do you know the 3 parts of an email? First part, header. 2, where you can find the recipient email. CC, BCC. Subject is a description of the topic of the message and displayed in most email systems that list email messages individually. 2, the body. 3, signature. It refers to the name of the sender. Based on the US study in 2010, 83% of knowledge workers felt that using email is crucial to business success. Crafting a good email in the workplace not only clarifies messages, but it also sends a positive professional message about you to your boss and colleagues, which in turn can lead to a career growth. Remember, in writing and using email, before you hit the send button, think before you click. Sounds familiar? To learn more, please watch this video.
Before you hit send, Email is a vital part of business communication. Unfortunately, many employees don't know how to use email well, nor do they understand the risks of using it inappropriately. Before you hit the send button, ask yourself these questions. If the message is addressed to more than one person, does it really need to be? Reply all should be used very sparingly. Am I angry? If so, save the message as a draft and return to it at least an hour later. Have I reread what I wrote to be sure it's well written and punctuated correctly? Could I better accomplish the purpose of the message with a phone call or other method of communication? Am I covering more than one subject? If so, consider sending a separate message for each subject. Am I blind copying anyone? If so, how will the primary recipient feel if he or she finds out? Am I attaching a file that may be too large for the recipient to receive, or in a format that will be difficult for the recipient to open? Have I included a subject line that provides the recipient with a useful context for my message? We hope you'll follow these guidelines to make email a more useful and effective business tool. Thank you.
In the Philippines, employees are legally entitled with 5 days of paid service incentive leave, which can be used for vacation or sick leave. However, if you are newly hired employees, it is not good to be sick leave and leave without notice to your boss. Sick leave letter is what you need to inform your boss that you're sick and will be absent for a day or two in the workplace. If you suddenly get sick, inform your boss first by call, by text, by short email, then give a formal excuse letter when you get back to the office. Do not forget to attach supporting documents, especially if you are sick for more than 2 days. Examples are doctor's letter, ER certification, medical certificate with recommendation from doctor that you are sick. And most importantly, do not give lame reason just to file a sick leave. Here's the bonus topic. There are 9 tips to avoid in writing a more professional and attractive letters. Want to learn more? Tip number 1. What to write. Good day, I am Rio Magbo. I'm happy to apply in the city government of Muntinlupa. I hope you will consider my application. Thank you. What not to write. Hello po, I am Rio Magbo. I am happy to apply to your company. Hi, hope you will consider my application. Thank you po. Do not use smileys in formal letters. Do not abuse ellipses. Do not use jejemon. Tip number 2. What to write. Equipment or equipments. What words now are acceptable to use for English? To be safe though, use equipment. Tip number 3. What to write. It's free. What not to write. It's for free. So the difficulty comes from common Tagalog word if you translate it in Tagalog. I need to pay for the snacks. No, that's okay. It's free. Kailangan kong bayaran yung merienda. Wag na. Libre yan. It's for free when used in Tagalog. Wag mo nang bayaran. Libre yan sa binili mo. Tip number 4. What to write. Turn on the light. Turn off the light. What not to write. Open the light. Close the light. Difficulty from the Tagalog translation. Buksan mo ang ilaw. Isara mo ang ilaw. Tip number 5. What to write. Please photocopy the contract. What not to write. Please Xerox the contract. Xerox is a popular brand for photocopying, but it's not a verb. Tip number 6. What to write. Dear Dr. Ellen, I'm sorry, I will be late for our meeting. Traffic is heavy. What not to write. Dear Dr. Ellen, I'm sorry, I will be late for our meeting. It's so traffic. If you translate it in Tagalog, sorry, late ako, sobrang traffic. Tip number 7. What to write. Sir, please fill out this form. What not to write. Sir, please fill up this form. Fill up refers to adding to containers while fill out refers to answering or signing documents. Tip number 8. What to write. Please help me, I bought a lot of stuff. What not to write. Please help me, I bought a lot of stuffs. Stuff is already in plural form, so need to add S at the end. Number 9. What to write. Hi Liz, I will drop by the office later. What not to write. Hi Liz, I will pass by the office later. So if you translate it in Tagalog, dadaan ako sa office mamaya. Let's have a recap. The language of business is English. Learning how to write business letters such as job acceptance, sick leave, memo letters can help you in your future jobs. A business memo is most effective when it connects your purpose to your reader's interest. An email is most effective when it is concise and on point. Remember to be polite and always proofread before you click and send. A sick leave letter together with a medical certificate is required in case of long period of absence. Communication is a skill that you learn. It's like riding a bicycle or typing. If you're willing to work at it, you can rapidly improve the quality of every part of your life. At first, it may not be easy, but writing is important to enhance your English functional skill. For your takeaway, without looking on your notes, try to list down the parts of the email, write thank you note, and send some email later to your family, friends, schoolmates, teachers, or while applying for jobs. For additional studies in the memorandum topic, you can use one of the Microsoft Word memo templates. In Word 2016, click on File, then click on New and search for Memo. Choose over 15 different memos option. Also, you can check out the following links found at the comment section of this video. Thank you, Muntinlupa City Life Skills Trainees. I hope you learned a lot about English Functional Competency. Don't forget to like this video and follow Peso Muntinlupa page for the upcoming videos and events. See you till the next Life Skills series.